hard-hitting action.
Football on a track with no ball.
Fast, fun, nerve-wracking.
A bunch of very strong women out there.
It's a bunch of girls that get to hit each other and not say sorry.
When you're playing it, it's organized chaos.
Organized chaos with glitter thrown in.
So my name is Angela Caswell, and my derby name is Booty Vicious.
Is Eleanor Roosevelt?
Ninja Bean.
Mr. J.
Public Emily.
Miss Ass-tastic.
I was at a low spot in my life, and I was watching TV one day when I was at home and my kids were little, and there was a girl and she needed something in her life, something that was affordable and active and get her out of the house and doing something, and she found roller derby. And I had no clue about roller derby before then. And they showed a little clip of all these women on skates being tough and aggressive and really enjoying themselves. And I looked at it and I'm like, that is for me and I need it right now. So I was playing with Hammer City in Hamilton, and then we moved out here to Norfolk County. And I was off my skates for a year and a half, and I missed it desperately. So my husband told me to stop complaining and do something about it. So I started a Facebook page and I put an ad on Kijiji to see if that any of the women of Norfolk County would be interested. And they responded.
My cousin has played in Grey Bruce up north for a few years, and she was telling me how exciting it is and what a great game it is and how great it's been for her. I know my husband has, he knew I needed an outlet because there was a whole bunch of stuff that happened to me. I lost my mom, and I was having a hard time dealing with that.
I encourage you to join for an outlet, for something to let off her frustrations or anger. Just get out there and do something to enjoy yourself, create some fun and some friends along the way.
And so for him, it was go, be free, have some mommy time, I guess.
I work at Rainy Media. I work in video production. I do a lot of editing. I do a lot of camera work. Rainy Media had decided that roller derby had started in the area and we were gonna do like a mini doc or something. We needed to film it. I was directing / producing it, and I went to the first couple practices and just sort of fell in love with the sport. It took me only a couple minutes to be like, I know I need to do this in my life.
All these girls were interested, and then we all kind of started from zero. Like, none of us had been on skates since we were little kids, and it was really fun to start with a bunch of people who were on the same level.
Don't follow me. You're trying to get past me, remember?
I really wasn't expecting as many people to be interested, and 22 women came out the very first time.
So when you first start with the league, with roller derby, you go through what we call our 101 training. So you need gear: skates, knee pads, elbow pads, wrist guards, they're important, mouth guard, that's important, protect the teeth, and a helmet. And you need a really good attitude. And you need to make sure that you are willing to work, because it's not easy.
It is hard. Like, you're gonna feel it in certain parts of your body that maybe you're not used to.
So the first practice I ever attended was, it was interesting. I had no idea what I was doing.
Sundays! Yeah, I felt like a baby giraffe.
So for me, never being on quad skates and not being very strong, it was quite the challenge.
It was scary. It was scary. It was terrifying. I'm not used to not being good at something right away, and it took me a while to get good at it.
The endurance. I'm not the most fittest person. I have bad habits, and I notice them a lot more when I'm doing my laps around. So that's my personal goal, is to make sure that I'm getting healthier in order to be better at roller derby.
So in the last couple of years, I've been working on strength and speed. So I've worked really hard to be able to get myself around the track at a very fast rate and be able to hit girls that are twice my size with a decent amount of force. But it wasn't easy at the beginning, that's for sure.
Really, it doesn't matter if you've played every sport under the sun or you've never done a workout a day of your life, because when you start derby, you start your own journey, and you may not be good enough at first, but you're gonna get better, and that's all that matters.
So you may be asking yourself, what the heck is roller derby? And the short answer of that is that it's a full contact sport played on roller skates. Sounds pretty cool, right?
In roller derby, 2 teams skate counterclockwise on an oval track. Each team has 15 skaters, 5 on the track at any given time. 1 player is designated as the team's jammer. The jammer will have a star on her helmet and is the only player that can score points for the team. The other players are called blockers. It's their job to stop the other team's jammer from scoring points, while also clearing a path for their own team's jammer. They play an offensive and defensive role at the same time. You can hit with your hips, shoulders, and torso. The jammer's objective is to lap as many opposing blockers as possible before the jam ends. Games are called bouts and are broken down into jams. Jams last for a maximum of 2 minutes, but a lead jammer may strategically call it off at any given time.
Roller derby is a very physical sport and requires a lot of training.
We're gonna do 1 round of 25 and 5.
We have 2 practices a week. At our first practice, we work on skills, drills, cardio, and strength. And at the second, we dive deep into the gameplay and strategy of the sport with scrimmages.
We're here at our home opener at the Odd and Simcoe playing Ladies in Paint. We actually played one before this at Grey Bruce, and it was a lot of fun, and we're here to have fun again tonight.
When we started, there was only Vicious,
Stay in front, ladies!
and Crusher that had played roller derby before. And when you have 22 people and only 2 of them have played before, it's like wrangling a bunch of bunny rabbits.
So it was just like chaos. No one knew what was going on. A lot of the times you're standing around not knowing what's happening.
We lost horribly, but it was a great learning experience, not only in how to put on a bout, but how we play and how we function as a team.
Roller derby being like a newer sport and brand new to this community, it's been a bit of a challenge to get people to recognize it for what it is.
Getting the people of Norfolk County that are very used to what they're used to embrace something new and exciting and accept it into the community.
You kind of get to that point where you want to be a part of the community.
What I noticed on my line is that we really need to dig in and make sure that the jammer's not speeding us up.
And I've been around when people have hurt themselves, and I've seen the mental block that can come with being physically hurt.
What I noticed on my line is that we really need to dig in and make sure that the jammer's not speeding us up.
Once you're in lead, you can do whatever you need to do.
I think that's more stressful, but it's important.
When we have a bout or like a game, it ends up being a huge event, no matter how big or how small. And I think when people come to watch the sport, there's not only the watching of the sport, there's also the community and the social aspect that goes on around it.
I find a lot of different sports have a little niche, a certain kind of person that it attracts. With roller derby, that just seems to be the exact opposite. It doesn't attract a certain kind, it attracts a little bit of everybody.
I was raised around like my mom and my sister, and you know, they were really strong women in my life. So to me, it's kind of like just being around sisters. Like, you know, it's a great group of people to be around. And I think it's awesome because a lot of sports are male dominated.
I feel like roller derby is so much more empowering because it is a primarily female dominated sport.
Because it is typically women, I think men are a little bit apprehensive about trying a sport that women have driven for so long. But it is happening, and it's great to see all these different genders taking part in such a big sport.
I don't know, I just find that in roller derby, even in the men's groups, it's kind of that same, just like simple camaraderie. Like, it's nice, it's light, it's airy, it's almost doesn't take itself too seriously.
And it's run by the players. You have this ownership in it that you don't get if you're playing for a soccer league or a basketball league or even a volleyball league. You have this sense of ownership and this sense of responsibility for the league.
So we do family skate nights in the community. They've become quite popular. It's really important to us that we put these events on. It gets our name out into the community, and it allows us to afford to put on bouts and continue to put on events such as these.
So the money from the fundraisers go to help us have more fundraisers so that more people can come out and skate and enjoy this lovely sport. But as well, it helps us with our practice and our game for the rentals.
We can provide entertainment and physical activity and its own community within a community for people that are lacking that certain something in their life.
I grew up going roller skating since I was about 9, 10 years old, so I've been at this odd since I was a little girl, like her.
So the little ones like it because they just like to be on roller skates, which you don't get to do indoors anymore around here. The older ones, it brings back the memories of when there was the roller rinks and the sock hops. So it kind of brings back memory lane for them.
I got my own roller skates and I can dance slides outside on roller skate nights.
We also try to do as much community service as we can. We try to get out and volunteer. We participate in parades. We do a lot, and I think it's really good for us.
You kind of get to that point where you want to be a part of the community, and it was the community of roller derby that really drew me into wanting to ref it, because it just seems so large and so vast, and I could do so much in it. So as a roller derby ref, you're one of 7 people on at any given time. Actually, technically 8. You have the hierarchy. So you've got your head ref, who's sometimes myself or other refs, and we control the pack. We make sure that everything is together. Then you have your inside pack ref, who is kind of like the second in command with your head ref. Then you got your jam refs, and they're your 2 refs that end up watching each jammer for point scoring. And then you've got your outside pack refs, and these guys are watching everything else. So they're watching all the different penalties, just anything and everything. They're there to kind of be that final wall of defense to make sure everything is staying together.
When people fall and get hurt, they really can get hurt because they weren't necessarily prepared for a hit. And I think there's been a lot more advancement in the sort of the rules to try and keep people safe from that, but still have that full contact aspect of it, and having, you know, extra referees and extra officials to make sure that people are being safe.
The only way that our players play safely is if we're present. If we're not present, or there's very few of us, you can still have a game, but the potential for somebody to get hurt, injured, or anything else starts to rise as you have lesser and lesser officials there keeping everything in order.
When you get your first derby bruise, you're really, really proud of it. And I got my first derby bruise back in Easter. My poor family at Easter dinner were seeing half my butt all dinner long because I kept showing it to everybody because I was so proud.
I've never been hurt in roller derby, thank goodness, knock on everything wood. But I've been close, and I've been around when people have hurt themselves, and I've seen the mental block that can come with being physically hurt.
I was injured actually just a few weeks ago. It sucks. I think it was the 9th jam of the game. We were like 15 minutes into the game. I got hit laterally and fell on my knee funny, and I pulled my meniscus and hamstring. Yeah, it really kind of makes you like second guess almost that am I doing this? Is this okay? Like, should I be pushing my body this hard? got hit laterally, which took me out of the rest of the game.
It was, you know, alarming, and I ran over right away and made sure she was okay.
And took me out of Derby for about 3 weeks. I missed our next league game, which I ended up bench coaching, which was a really fun experience, but it always sucks to not be on the track.
One of the big things we try to teach in roller derby is to not get discouraged. It can be tough. It's a very heavy sport. It's heavy in endurance, it's heavy in hitting, it's heavy in, you know, strength. But really derby is about your own pace. It's your own derby story.
If anybody knows Emma, she's very strong. So I just pointed her in the right direction, told her to get back into the game, and made sure that you know, she didn't worry about it.
Every single aspect is kind of like another challenge and another stepping stone as you keep going along.
Things happen and you get to a zone where you're like, oh, you know, I'm either nervous about this or I'm scared about that, but you gotta get past it. If you don't, you'll never get better, you'll never be better, and you'll never have fun playing the sport that you love.
And emotionally, just like any challenge in life, it comes with its highs and its lows. And when you're having a low, you've got 15, 20 other women that'll help pick you right back up.
Yeah, it really kind of makes you second guess almost that, am I doing this? Is this okay? Like, should I be pushing my body this hard? And I think for me the answer is yes. The answer is always yes. The little bit of pain that I'm experiencing right now it's worth it.
Well, seeing the transition between the girls as they came and didn't even know how to tie their skates up to throwing some serious hits now it's amazing to see not just skater growth, but personal growth.
The second year we had a couple more bouts. We did win one loco bout, which is a low contact bout. We do those sometimes. They're quite beneficial to learning gameplay.
And then our next season we had like 3 or 4 games that season. And we lost all of those. Then we came into our third season and lost all our first few games.
But it was good for us because those losses help us grow. Players really figured out what their part was in roller derby.
So it's been really, really neat to see the growth in a lot of the girls and how their gameplay and their strategy has grown and their team play has grown.
The change has been incredible. I've noticed a lot of physical changes. I'm a lot more toned now. I'm way faster.
I'm also a lot more confident on my skates. You'll often hear me say, you know, you've got a minute left, leave it all on the track. And that has kind of become my mantra for derby is leave it all on the track. Get out there, go to practice, work your tail off, come home exhausted, and that tells me that you've put everything that you can into roller derby.
Seeing the girls really been able to come out of their shell and embrace who they are and find their strength and find their inner power, I think is fantastic.
Playing those teams that were like, they've been playing for years and they have huge leagues and they've got 5 teams on their leagues, and playing those teams taught us so much. We actually won against a team that we did not think we were going to win against.
And it was good for us because it's been difficult as a league not pulling wins. It kind of brings the league down.
We've won our first couple games now, so we're getting better and better, and it's starting to show. We're going to take over the world. We started as a really tight-knit group that was really passionate about what we're doing. We're still a very tight-knit group that is still passionate about derby and passionate about bringing it to Norfolk County and letting people know that we're here.
A roller derby team supports each other. All the women support each other no matter what. No matter your size, your background, what you believe in, anything at all. And a small community does the same thing. You support people no matter your background, no matter where you come from, no matter what you do. So I think it's important that a small community have a roller derby team to back both of those up.
Some of the girls have become some of my closest friends in a short period of time. You just end up, I think, on an emotional level connecting quicker through sports because we see each other on our high days and on our low days, and we stick together and help, I think, pick each other up.
It's allowed me to kind of understand how people can come together as a family, even if it's, you know, around a sport or around an event or something like that, and it still is as encouraging and natural and loving as any other family, you know, and it's made me lighter as a person, and I enjoy that.
We back each other up. We hear about each other's family life problems or congratulate each other on their accomplishments, not just in derby, but everything else. And I think that's what makes you want to play derby even more, is to be with these girls because you're not judged, ever.
All of us are really different, but a lot the same in certain ways. Like we were talking about it the other day, I think a lot of us would have been not necessarily girly girls growing up, and more the girls who hang out with the boys, and now this is kind of where we all gather together and hit each other and have fun.
Come on, come on, come on.
When I have a bad day, or when somebody has a bad day, and you can come into practice and be like, I have just had a terrible day. I just need to hit somebody. And when 15 other girls look at you and go, bring it. It's a pretty great feeling.
When the league first started, I was just really happy to have a bunch of crazy women that were willing to take a chance on me. And they're still around, so that's good. Sorry.
Are you gonna cry?
I might, yeah.
Having a group of women who've been through all sorts of stages of life has been one of the most incredible things that has happened to me. And just being a part of all of these women's lives, big or small, has been the best.
So it's just really become a really big part of my heart, and I hope it continues to in the future.
Roller derby is the best thing I've ever done for myself.